A lot of legalese in all of this, so luckily we have a legal expert, Deanna Paul here, trial attorney, former assistant New York City District Attorney. Welcome. So we've had a lot of, I'm going to play a clip from Stephen Miller at the White House in a minute, but just taking up what you just heard from the president of El Salvador, the Supreme Court said to them, you should try to facilitate the return. And everyone in that Oval Office meeting, and the people who would be under the jurisdiction, including the president, the attorney general, they showed no interest in that. And obviously, either did the president of El Salvador. How do you see this?
It seems like they're parsing words in a somewhat juvenile way. When a court says facilitate this, I mean, it's common parlance. We know what that means. What
does it mean?
It means help us get him back.
Right. But make an effort, essentially.
Exactly.
But there's no real definition, but you got to try.
Yes.
So what if you come out publicly, right, and you're asked about this, and you say, well, we're not going to try, essentially, which is what they did today. They didn't say, well, we're going to give it our best, and if he doesn't want to give him back, then we're not going to, that's not what they said. They basically went through every reason why he should have been, in their view, deported in the first place.
Yeah, and
so that's a violation of the order?
I mean, they said that they haven't done any, they had no updates for the court. And what they were saying is all they're required to do per the court's order is to remove any sort of domestic obstacle. And that's not what the court ruling was. The court ruling was facilitate this, make it happen.
So what's the argument of the administration? And the most kind of aggressive articulation, I think, came from Stephen Miller, the president's he's deputy chief of staff, but he's the president's guy on immigration, essentially. So here's part of what he said, Stephen Miller.
He's an El Salvadorian. That is his country of nativity and citizenship. He is an illegal alien in the United States. He has no lawful right to be here. He was issued a final order of removal from this country. And so it's up to El Salvador and to the government and the people of El Salvador what the fate of their own citizens is. We can't extradite citizens of foreign countries to our country.
Now, I understand that differently because, and it doesn't matter to me, or it shouldn't matter to anyone what kind of guy this guy is. We don't know. It could be a great person, could be an awful person, but that's not what's the question here. He's saying he didn't have a right to be here. But there was a court order from 2019 who said that he couldn't be deported to where? El Salvador. Because they were scared. The guy apparently ran away from gangs when he was a kid. And they said that's the place he couldn't be deported. Well, that's where they deported him to. So that argument, I don't know where he's getting any of this from. That is flies in the face of what's been said in court by both sides, right? By
both sides. And the recent lower court decision actually said there is no evidence that's been presented to the court that shows that he's a gang member.
Yeah. Now, the Trump administration, Miller and others, I want to ask you about this, did say that the court ruled 9-0 in their favor. And people said, well, what are you talking about? Well, what they were referring to, as I understand it, and I took notes on it earlier, is executive deference. So they were basically saying that the government's primary role in managing foreign relations, like negotiating with El Salvador, lies in the executive branch. So the court ruled in their favor, but they glossed over this whole other thing that we talked about, which was facilitate the release. So what do you make of that argument of executive deference?
So my reading of the ruling, the 9-0 decision is in favor of due process, that no one can be deported from this country without due process.
Which he didn't have.
Exactly. Right. And so that's what the 9-0 ruling is.
What happens now?
That is a great question.
Because he is in El Salvador, in a prison. So if the guy says, and, I'm not bringing him back, he's not coming back, is he?
I think that's the question all of us are wondering. The Justice Department is certainly not facilitating getting him back, but I mean, the courts are ordering them to do so. So we just have to wait and see. It's an interesting legal issue that we're all...
Does the court have anything it could do? Because let's just say, for argument's sake, that, and this is what looks like is going to happen, nothing happens. So they leave him there in the prison. In the prison, he says, of El Salvador says, oh, it's preposterous to even ask. So he's not moving. So then what does the court do? Do they hold someone in contempt? Or what could they do here?
They can hold someone in contempt, but at the end of the day, the impact of that is still kind of up in the air. What does that actually mean if the person who they're trying to bring back is still in El Salvador, no effort?
Yeah, there's no practical, but but there is precedent being set here. And again, there could be someone else that finds himself in this situation, right? So maybe the court want to make a point on that. Who would be held in contempt? Like a lawyer, DOJ lawyer or something?
Yes, exactly.
Right. And so I figured, all right, Deanna Paul, thank you. It's a crazy case, and we'll follow it. Like you said, we'll all have to wait and see now. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.